I told you we are going to dive into two fields of expertise, and I'm delighted to have Will here as a first speaker. Will, please step forward. Will Crowcombe, he is the Manager Director of FSO Instruments, a Dutch provider of laser communication equipment, and you are a medical engineer. By education, you studied at Imperial College London, and you began your career as an aerospace structural engineer in the UK, if I'm well informed. You did?
Indeed.
Yes, yeah, indeed. And then later you worked as a principal system engineer at TNO in the Netherlands, contributing to various high-tech developments. So over 20 years of experience, broad technical expertise, strong background in high-tech industry, and you are really committed in bringing the laser communication program further. That's what you, why you wake up every morning when you go to work.
Indeed.
So I'm delighted to have you here as our first speaker, and I'm going to leave the floor completely to you, Will.
Thank you very much.
Take it.
For me, it's all about that commercial success, achieving that commercial success. So that's what's driving us.
Now, there you go.
Indeed.
Spot on. Yes.
I believe I have a clicker somewhere.
Yes, you have a clicker.
That would help me a lot, I think. So,
it is over here.
Thank you very much. And thanks for pronouncing my name right. Not many people do. So,
good.
Hello, everyone. Just to reintroduce myself again, Will Crowcombe, Managing Director of FSO Instruments. I've been invited today to pitch to you not our products, but the process that we've been through over the last 2.5 years to get where we are. And hopefully this can inspire others. So, I've already gone wrong. Okay, so before I do that, though, I do need to just touch a little bit on what we are trying to achieve as a company. FSO Instruments develops and sells optical communication technologies. Here you can see our 4 key products: the Resolite 20, the Resolite 50, the Resolite 80, and the Resolite 150. The number is related to the aperture size of the system. And essentially what they are point-to-point communication systems that act as essentially a fiber in the sky, except for you don't have the fiber to guide the light. The bigger the aperture, the further you can communicate, but the greater the complexity of the system. So if you can think of the small one, it's about 1 liter. That typically communicates about 1 gigabit per second over 1,000 kilometers, all the way down to the big one here that communicates over 45,000 kilometers, 100 gigabits per second. Okay. We as a company are a joint venture between 2 large Dutch companies, Demcon and VDL Group. So Willem is going to be here this afternoon, let's say, presenting to you. So very much part of that organization. We were founded in 2023, and we were born of the NXTGEN Hightech program. There's no doubt about it. Without NXTGEN Hightech, we would not have existed. And I'll explain to you a little bit why in a second. We are based in Delft, right next to the TNO location, and essentially we turn the TNO IP into these wonderful products. Okay. So just a little touch on the market, optical communication market. Society demands more and more increased data needs and data connectivity, not just in permanent locations, but moving. And it's putting a real strain on the existing RF mobile infrastructure. And this is where optical communication comes in. With this technology, we can enable a huge amount of high bandwidth connectivity with very low latency, and it's inherently secure. And what you will see is this laser communication technology will be the foundation of sovereign digital future infrastructure for our society. Just to touch on a few of the opportunities that we're busy with at the moment. There are many commercial ones, business-to-business type opportunities, but there are also massive European Union infrastructural programs pulling on this technology. Just to mention 2, the IRIS² program is Europe's answer to Starlink. It's a between 10 and 15 billion euro program that intends on putting for Europe a fiber network in the sky, a space infrastructure program in space. And at the core of that program, connecting all the satellites together, is optical laser communication technology. Just before the summer holiday, we received our first request for quotation for that program, just before the summer, very kind. And they wanted the offer at the end of the summer, so we had an exciting summer holiday. But what this means, I just want to quantify what this means financially. If we secure a position in that program, it will be multiple hundreds of millions of euros of work for us. So we're working exceptionally hard, and that was why it was worth sacrificing the holiday, ultimately. Other big infrastructure programs, positioning and navigation, a key element of our society, also something that Europe is really leading in. The future programs will all have optical connectivity passing between satellites, detailed timing information to ultimately make those systems robust to jamming and improve the accuracy, even down to 20 millimeters in the future GPS resolution. And what we have done over the last 2.5 years is actually we have become a credible supplier for these big initiatives. We've now got to make that final step and actually receive the orders, but this is what has happened over the last 2 years. Okay, now touching a bit on the entrepreneurial side of what we do. In this 2.5 years that we have existed, 2 or 3 years, we first started a phase where we rolled out our strategy. We put in place our vision, what we wanted to achieve and how we wanted to achieve it. We then looked for these programs to help us in this journey, to de-risk these developments. And at the same time, we're trying to get early customers to validate our business prospects, but also help with the revenues of the company. And these are really the 3 main challenges that we focused over, had to deal with over the last 3 years. Managing the funding gaps. I'm sure everyone here suffers from the fact that you never have enough money. That's certainly the case for us. We had to manage the fact that the market is still maturing. If we were too early with our products, actually we wouldn't be able to sell them and we would have a huge overhead to deal with. And finally, getting that factory infrastructure in place at the right time in the most effective way. So this is a bit of a picture, probably very familiar to people. This is, let's say, the life cycle, if I think that's the right way of saying it, of our products. And for me, this is a chain. And if we do not take care of every part of this process, our chain is broken or weak, and this business prospect fails. And this has been ultimately the job of our company is to manage this process. And like I've already said, without a doubt, this growth fund really helped us with this initial funding mechanism, not just for ourselves, but also for our partnering companies. We've also looked at other funding mechanisms like TKI projects or defense projects for the European Union, Horizon typical programs to help us with the funding that we needed to go through to achieve. Like I said, we also look for this early validation of our business position by selling early products. And you can see we're already selling with some of our partners here, the smaller terminal, and also a number of components to the market. We've really benefited from the support of the MOD. The technologies that we are developing are essentially dual-use technologies. So, that without a doubt, not just the Growth Fund, but also the AZ and the MOD have really supported us in this early phase. Yeah, and look, the practical elements. We have a full-time team within FSO of 25 people, but from my shareholders, I have more than 100 people now working on developing our products, setting up the factory. That's a considerable burn rate, and my day-to-day business is making sure that I make the financial ends meet there. Cash is king. Before I started this, I didn't really fully appreciate that point, but I do now. Market entry. So space in particular is a very heritage-based market. People only buy your equipment when they see that it's already working. So one of the other aspects that we've done is take care of early demonstrations of our products. So we orchestrated this mission here for the Dutch MOD. This is called PAMI-1, and it's a satellite mission where the MOD is going to put into space its own Earth observation mission. It generates an awful lot of data every day, and it will host 2 of our products to get to downlink that data. So market entry, market insertion, a very important thing to take care of. And finally, scaling the factory. Ultimately, we are working towards a commodity market. We have to offer our systems at competitive prices in a very competitive market. And for me, I've really realized that the manufacturing infrastructure that we have here in the Netherlands, in particular in the VDL group, is really differential, really enabling. So what we've been doing over this period is also learning how to put that infrastructure to maximum use. Yeah. So now we're starting with those first 4 products, but of course we have loads of ideas for the future, for the sustainability of this. So you can see in this little picture here on the side, we're concentrating on commodities for this space market at the moment, but there are plenty of offshoots for this technology, whether it's airborne terminals, whether it's ground stations, whether it's naval terminals. So our future, if we break this, get across this valley of death, this is where we're going to be moving to in the future. Then I think this is my last slide. I think I'm nicely on time, right? Home takeaway messages. Yeah, we started in 2023. We've become highly visible through the support of the government, but also programs like this. One of the keys to our success is the fact that we are a small, agile company with the big shareholders behind us, made us actually a very credible option for the market. We're now very, very focused on getting our prototypes built, tested, qualified, and getting the factory up to speed. I want to take this time to also thank my shareholders for their entrepreneurial support, through these financial challenges that I have occasionally. The MOD, I want to thank them also for their support, and the ecosystem in general. So thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so very much, Bill. Please, we have some minutes left here.
You're not finished with me, okay.
I'm not finished with no. It's a wonderful, insightful presentation. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. I was just wondering if one would have said 3 years ago that you would be on this stage here today with this story, would you have believed?
No, quite.
No.
Not with as much confidence either, to be honest. So we've had quite a journey the last 3 years, but I'm excited by the potential that we have. So I'm hoping that I can come back in 3 years' time and then talk about much more success. Let's say. Yeah.
But then also I am wondering, because you as an entrepreneur, I can imagine that with all the steps you showed us in your beautiful timeline, that was very insightful. I can imagine different skills are needed also from you, from your position within your company. So how do you keep up? Because if you are not preparing, because in a way you do not know that it will go that fast, you must stay alert, and I can imagine you must find expertise maybe left and right.
Sure, I think that photo was taken 3 years ago. Much less grey hair than there is now, ultimately. But I'm very fortunate that I have a very good team, let's say, and that means that I can purely focus on the strategy of the company and connecting the dots, and it seems to be working very well.
Yeah. But that's also quite something, because from your technological background, all of a sudden you are a managing director, which is, of course, different skills, of course.
Yeah.
And you must like that as an entrepreneur as well.
Sure. Yeah, so my foundation is technology. I was a system engineer at TNO. I was part of the laser program at TNO. I was given freedom at TNO to kind of proactively plan technology steps. And when we saw that the market started to pull on that technology, this has been a great opportunity for me to go with that technology into the market and finish the job ultimately. So I really like it, but this is another aspect of where the shareholders have been very, let's say, supportive of me, helping me actually through this kind of this learning process. Yeah,
this journey, this exciting journey.
Indeed.
Final question maybe, because you ended with it. You said the importance of the ecosystem. And this is exactly what we try today as well, to build again stronger relationships within this high-tech ecosystem. Now, what will it bring? If we make it, as Peter was saying, from innovation, we must now take the next step. We must act and find our way to market. find the enablers to get us on the market.
Yeah.
Now, what would you suggest? What would you say to these colleagues here?
Well, I think in that first period of the company where we were establishing our vision, one of the first questions we asked was, what is our right to play? Why are we competitive? Why can we be competitive with the existing players out there?
Be frank and open with yourself.
Yeah, be frank.
Look in the mirror.
And actually, you know, do we have, I'm going to be completely honest, do we have technology that is 100% better than anyone else? Not necessarily in this particular case, but you know, what do we have? And what we have is this fantastic manufacturing infrastructure. So it's not just about producing one of these systems, it's about producing them repeatedly, regularly, at a good price point. And I think that's actually really differentiating. And I think that's ultimately enabled by this ecosystem. Yeah. So looking through the synergies between the markets and multiplying that.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. It was an honor to have you here on stage.
Thank you very much.
All the best of luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
A warm welcome, a warm thank you to Will.